Lego sets typically retire twice throughout the year. We have July retirement and then we have December retirement. And typically December is a much bigger wave. More sets will retire in December. But every July, I always get excited about sets disappearing off the shelves at that midway through the year point. And right around now is a good time to start paying attention to the upcoming July retirement sets to see if there's any of those sets that you want to pick up before they disappear for good. So in this video, I'm going to share all of the different sets that are retiring in July of this year. I'm going to share some thoughts about those sets. Are there any that I think could be good investments? And that's what we're going to look at here today. Now, right here at the top, I do want to say that typically with July retirement, we do have less really good opportunities to invest. There's some themes that I love investing in that don't have any retirement that happen in July typically. They are December retirement every year. And in July, we tend to see a lot of the same themes that retire every year. And sometimes those themes can be a little bit harder to predict as investments. In the past, I've gone heavy on July waves and I've done good in some years and not so good in other years. And so we're going to talk about that and what that means for this year's July retirement. Now this year we have 22 different sets retiring in July across 6 different themes. So we do have a bit of a variety here to pick. So even if you don't invest in a handful of these themes, maybe there is one here at least that will pique your attention. So with that said, let's just jump straight in here and have a look at all of the sets that are retiring in July of 2024. So first up we have Jurassic World here. We have the Velociraptor Escape. This is set number 76957 from the Jurassic World theme, of course, with 137 pieces. That is quite a high price per piece of 29 cents, which is not abnormal because with Jurassic World, we tend to see high price per piece counts. We just need to adjust our way of thinking when it comes to the Jurassic World theme because those dinosaur parts, the minifigures and everything bring up the price per piece quite a lot. Those are parts that are worth more, and therefore we kind of can't really compare price per piece from a Jurassic World set with something like a Lego art set, which is just all one by one tiles. There's just very different parts inside the box here. So we need to remember that when we're thinking about price per piece for Jurassic World sets. MSRP is $40 on this one. It was released in June 2023, retiring in July of 2024. Now, Velociraptor sets come and go quite often. We've had a lot of them in the past. I've done well-ish on some Velociraptor sets in the past. We had the Velociraptor biplane set that actually did go up quite a lot in value, but it took some time to go up, and also you would have had to get it at a discount. I would not be paying full MSRP for a Jurassic World Velociraptor type set. I'm looking for these sets at heavy discounts. If you can get it at a heavy discount, will you do okay as an investment? You know, it's possible, but I don't like the price of this one. I think $40 for what you get in the box here is quite expensive. 137 pieces. It just feels like there's not a whole lot going on in this set for the price point of $40. But again, Velociraptors carry so much demand, and Jurassic World fans and collectors are always going to want a Velociraptor in their collection. There's never going to be a time where they're not going to want one. And so you're going to have a high level of collectability. We are also going to have a higher risk of re-release. And it's not going to be exactly the same set that they would re-release, but they're always going to be releasing more Velociraptor-based sets that will take a little bit of your demand away if you invest in the Velociraptor Escape, because the next Velociraptor set will come out, and some people who are looking for a Velociraptor, they're going to go to that one. And so some of that will happen. You got to keep that in mind if you're investing in the Velociraptor Escape set. So moving into the next set here, we have a Harry Potter set. This is the Hogwarts Astronomy Tower, set number 75969. Now these sets are interesting because there was a collection of them that clicked together to kind of form a modular Hogwarts. However, some of the past versions of those modular Hogwarts sets have not been great investments. We had the Great Hall, we had the Clock Tower, we had the Whomping Willow, and a handful of them I actually did okay with as investments, but only because I got great prices on them. And some of them, you know, in terms of just going up in price from the MSRP, little bit underperformers in my opinion for what I expected of them. And so Astronomy Tower, am I super excited about it as an investment? Not quite. I think it's a little bit possible that this goes the same direction as some of the previous ones. And what doesn't help this set's case is that they've kind of revamped the way that they do Hogwarts now. They have green roof on some of the newer Hogwarts-based sets, and it's just changed the design a little bit. Also, we do have multiple now Hogwarts sets in their entirety, and so you have the large Hogwarts castle, you also have the small kind of displayable Hogwarts castle and grounds, and so some fans who want a Hogwarts are going to those sets instead of going to these modular larger sets. These ones are much more playable. They're based around being able to collect all of the different sets and have all the minifigures and everything. So there's still a lot of love for these sets and a lot of demand for these sets, but there are just alternatives. We always need to remember, if there are alternatives, it does suck away a little bit of the demand. And so if that alternative is a re-release, it sucks away a lot of the demand. But if it's similar sets that people could go to, it takes a little bit of the demand. So do I think that nobody's buying this set because they're all buying the other Hogwarts based sets? No, of course this set is still going to sell. It is the Astronomy Tower, which is an important part of Hogwarts and important part for Harry Potter fans, but there are some things that will take away from the demand a little bit. It does have 971 pieces and a 10 cents price per piece, which is reasonable. It's $100 MSRP. I think if this was released today, it would be more expensive. $100 is a pretty good price for this set, given that Lego prices have gone up in the meantime while this set has been available, because it was released in June of 2020. So the shelf life has been quite long on this. And when it retires in July 2024, it's 4 years on the shelves for the Astronomy Tower. This is one that I'm probably not going to invest in unless I saw it on massive clearance. Hogsmeade Village Visit. Now, this is another Harry Potter set. It's 76388. I think I like this one more. This one has a little bit more going for it. We saw some really good performance recently on non-Hogwarts based Harry Potter sets, such as Sirius's House, that is the Grimmauld Place, has been a really good investment for anyone who picked that one up. This is 851 pieces with 11 cents price per piece, is reasonably valued. You have a lot of minifigures in here, also not pictured here, but you do get the golden Ron Weasley minifigure with this set in Hogsmeade Village Visit. All of the minifigures in this set are also unique variants, so you don't get any repeat minifigures in this set. You get Dean Thomas, you get McGonagall, you got a lot of different things going on here. It's a very playable set and it complements the Hogwarts stuff really, really nicely. Now, Hogsmeade Village for Harry Potter is an important scene, an important set to have in your collection, but it's not that common that these sets will be released. And so it's more likely we're going to see Hogwarts-based sets, even Diagon Alley-based sets. So this could add to a little bit more of the scarcity aspect behind this set, because there will be less options out there for people who want to get Hogsmeade sets. So I'm a fan of this one, and it is one that I would consider buying for July, and it is one of my favorites on this list of retiring sets in July 2024. Next up we have Avatar. So this is Jake and Neytiri's first Banshee flight. My favorite scene from the Avatar movies. I'm a big fan of Avatar. I know there's a lot of haters out there, but I love these movies, and this is my favorite scene. Obviously, it's one of the most iconic scenes from the first movie. 75572 with 572 pieces and a 10 cents price per piece. Pretty reasonable price, and a ton of playability in this set. Now, the $60 purchase price looks expensive for what you get. If you look at a picture of this set, you feel like that's expensive. But again, you're getting 572 pieces, even though it doesn't really look like you are, in my opinion. October 2022 release date, retiring in July 2024. The next Avatar movie has been delayed, so it is not coming in 2024. It is going to be released in December of 2025. Now, what that means is this set will be retired for about a year and a half when Avatar 3 gets released, which could, of course, bump up the demand on this set. If that movie is well acclaimed, there's going to be a big viral aspect. There's going to be a lot of marketing, a lot of excitement around it, and people will be looking for Avatar Lego sets. This being one of the iconic first movie sets, it is possible that people will want to go back and pick up this set to have in their collection. So that is one of my favorite Avatar sets that is retiring. Now, we gotta call out that Avatar so far has not been very promising. We just had our first wave of retirement at the end of 2023, and some of those sets are still in stock on Amazon, so we can't be too critical, because we gotta wait for Amazon to sell out of all of their inventory before we can really know what's gonna happen with the prices. But we have seen some flat pricing so far on the recently retired Avatar sets. They're not really doing incredible things in the first couple of months of retirement. So we gotta keep that in mind. Does that mean it's always gonna be like that? I don't think so, because I'm seeing very low supply on these sets. I think Lego investors are ignoring them. A lot of the community are not getting involved with these sets. And if you look at the marketplace right now on the recently retired sets, you can notice that. You can see that the actual number of sellers on them is pretty low, but the demand is actually still pretty reasonable on them. So I do think that after Amazon fully sells out and all the retailers are gone and all of the low ballers sell out, there is a possibility that these sets actually do reasonable. But I'm looking for good prices on these. I'm not paying even close to MSRP on them. And that's where you're going to make your profit. So those are some of my broad thoughts on the Avatar theme. And we do have a handful of other Avatar sets here, but we'll go through them a little quicker here. So we have Turok Makto and the Tree of Souls. Another iconic scene from the first Avatar movie, 75574, 1,212 pieces and a 12 cents price per piece. Price per piece is really reasonable on these sets. This is a $150 purchase price, and I think once again it's a set that it doesn't look like it's 1,200 pieces right away, but there is a lot going on and there is a lot of intricate detail in this entire set. October 2022 release date, so just under 2 years on the shelves by the time it disappears. I like the design, I don't like the price. I think 150 is a little high for the audience base of the Avatar sets in general, because they're a very playable theme, and I'm not a massive fan. Even though I think the value is there, I'm not a massive fan of that price point. Again, I would be looking for a heavy discount on this. Ilu Discovery, so this is 75575, 179 pieces with a slightly higher 14 cents price per piece. $25 purchase price. I would prefer to see this at 20. A few years ago, that's what it would have been at, but again, inflation. Released January 2023, retiring in July 2024. So that's just about a year and a half on the shelves. This one, I don't have a whole lot to say for it. I just think it's a little bit too expensive. If it was a $20 set and you could get it more like 15, I think it could be a pretty reasonable investment at that point, but I'm not paying 25 for it. I typically do love those really lower priced playable sets, and we can get a lot of those in a handful of different themes, of course, such as Star Wars and Speed Champions and Disney, and Avatar is no different. We have a handful of these smaller sets that have the potential and a lot of easy runway to grow in price, but you got to make sure you're getting them at the right price in order to be able to do that. Next up, we have Skimwi Adventure. This is 75576, 259 pieces, 14 cents price per piece, and a $35 purchase price. Similar situation here with a slightly high price for the number of parts in the box. January 2023, so a year and a half on the shelves on this one. I won't be investing in either of these two, but it doesn't mean that there is not potential there. I would just be looking for really good prices on them. Payakanda Tulkan and Crab Suit. So this is 75579, 761 parts, 13 cents price per piece, and a $100 purchase price. I'm not a fan of this one. This is just not a set that I think I would want to invest in. Once again, I have a problem with the perceived value of this set because of the whale being, you know, a lot of large parts. It just doesn't feel like it's a $100 set. It doesn't feel like the value is there. It doesn't feel like the build experience will be there. In my opinion, it's just not really worth the purchase price here. Number 9 here, so we've Paisleys House, and we're talking about Lego Friends now. This is 41724, 185 pieces, a very high price per piece. Again, we're talking about sets that are targeted towards a kind of a younger audience, where typically you can start to see price per pieces creep up and get a little bit higher. $40 purchase price on this just feels a little pricey. I know you do get a kind of a front of a house here, but it's severely lacking detail. It's a lot of large parts, of course, and so in my opinion, the value is not great in this set, but you do get 3 mini dolls in this one. January 2023, and a year and a half on the shelves by the time this retires. Next up, we have Leo's Room, and we have a dramatic difference in price per piece here. We have a lot more value in this set. It's 203 pieces for $20, where we just looked at 185 pieces for $40 in Paisleys House. So this set has fewer pieces for double the price. So Leo's Room is a lot more value going on here. We have more intricate detail. We have a lot of playability going on. 41754 and 2 characters, of course, including a kitten. 10 cents price per piece is pretty reasonable. A year and a half on the shelves by the time this set retires. We have the Sports Center. This is 41744. 832 pieces, and once again a pretty reasonable value on this with 11 cents price per piece. However, it is $95, and so again, you got to remember what is the perceived value, not just the price per piece value, but the perceived value of the set. Does it feel like it's worth $100 when you look at it? I don't think this one is terrible, because there is, you know, a pretty interesting build going on here, and you do get like the kind of gym area and multiple different mini dolls as well. I think that this is going to be a good complement to a lot of the other friend sets that people are collecting. It'll only be on the shelves for about a year by the time this set retires as well. I would just need to look at the demand numbers on this one. I know that the supply is likely not that high on this, and typically a lot of Lego investors ignore Lego Friends, which in my opinion leads to some really good opportunities out there. But I would want to check the demand and make sure that this set is actually being bought and being loved and has a lot of interest from Lego Friends collectors. Mario, so we have Adventures with Mario Starter Course is finally disappearing off the shelves. This is one of those early Mario sets that was released in July of 2020, so it's going to be on the shelves for 4 years by the time this set disappears. It is 71360 with 231 pieces, quite expensive at 26 price per piece. However, with the electrical kind of components of this and, you know, the different kind of interactivity that happens when you're playing with the Mario set, you know, that can lead to the price per piece being a little bit skewed here, and it's kind of hard to depend on. It's a $60 purchase price, but it's also central and core to the Mario theme. This is the base that a lot of Mario collectors had to pick up, and a lot of the other sets are expansion packs and different things, but this is one of the central sets in this theme. $60 purchase price. Again, it's a little bit on the high side, but it would be more expensive if it was released today. So it's, at the same time, it's not that bad when you think about relative to what current prices cost. I would just be looking for heavy discounts. As always with the Mario theme, I need them at massive discounts. Can you do okay on this theme as an investment? Absolutely, if you get great prices. I made a video where I walked through a lot of the Mario sets, and the broad consensus is that these sets do go up in price, but they don't go up in price as easily as some other themes, and so you need better prices to buy them at. But the good news is you can get great prices on a lot of these sets. It's going to vary around the world, different markets, but you can get a lot of these sets in the US at heavy discounts. And if you get them at those heavy discounts, then a lot of the past Mario sets that have retired, you would have done okay on. Is it the best theme for investing out there? Absolutely not even by a long stretch. But can you do well on it as an investment? Absolutely. You just need to learn the game, learn the theme, focus a little bit on research, and make sure you're getting great prices. We have Adventures of Luigi Starter Course. This is 71387, 280 pieces and a 21 cents price per piece, $60 purchase price. So this one will have 3 years on the shelves before this one retires in July. We have Super Mario 64 question mark block. Now this is one that's a lot more interesting in my opinion because it's very different than the other Mario sets. This is not one of the course playable kind of sets. This is a highly displayable, in my opinion, more targeted towards adults type set for nostalgia and for people who love Nintendo or grew up with the Nintendo. It's 2064 parts, so it's definitely a whole lot bigger with more intricate detail and a bigger build. It's a 10 cents price per piece, but the price point is $200. So $200 is a lot to ask for this theme in general. It's quite a lot higher than the other sets in this theme. It was released in October of 2021 and retiring in July of 2024. In my opinion, this set is worth watching. I like this set. I think there's a lot of uniqueness to this set. It stands alone in this theme. It stands out amongst the rest, in my opinion. And I just really love the kind of design of this with the different worlds that are laid out and the way the Mario video game works, and you kind of go to the worlds and everything. And just by taking one glance at this, I just feel the nostalgia. I feel that love of the Mario games from when I was growing up. And so I think that others are going to get that too, and they're going to be a fan of this question mark block set. Does this mean that I'm going to invest in it? I'm definitely going to be watching this set and looking at the supply and demand numbers over the next couple of months. And this is not one that I need at half price. I'm interested in this even at higher prices, and I do have a hunch that the supply will be low on this set. I don't think there's going to be many investors loading up on it. So I will be watching the Super Mario question mark block a little bit closer. Adventures with Peach Starter Course. This is 71403, 354 pieces and 17 cents price per piece. $60 purchase price may feel a little bit pricey, but again, 354 pieces here. So you are getting a better price per piece than some of these other playable Mario sets. You are getting Princess Peach. You are going to need Princess Peach for your collection if you're a Mario collector. Release date of August 2022. So just 2 years on the shelves for this one. Next up, we have Peach's Castle expansion set. And again, there are a handful of Mario sets that are more iconic than the others, and I think that this is one of them. Peach's Castle, of course, if you're a Mario fan, it's one of the most important locations from the entire series. It's 71403, 1,216 pieces and 11 cents price per piece, which is very reasonable. $130 purchase price. Again, you do get a lot of parts. So there is a longer build going on here, and you know it's going to keep you entertained for longer, but does it have the most intricate detail? In my opinion, not exactly. $130 set, I would want a little bit more, but it is a Mario set, so you don't really expect that. You don't really buy them for that. It is August 2022 release date, so it's 2 years on the shelves by the time this one retires. Next up, we have Peach's Garden Balloon Ride, and this is 71419. This one quite different than the other sets, a little bit more unique. I love the clouds. I think the clouds are just the most innovative, interesting way to show those clouds from the Mario style. Very cool. And in this one, you have 453 pieces, 11 cents price per piece, which is, again, it's pretty reasonable when compared to the others, but it may have kind of less playability than some of the other obstacle course type sets. This one seems like a good price. It's a $50 purchase price. It seems reasonable at around that price. It is cheaper than a handful of these other other retiring Mario sets, and just about a year and a half on the shelves for this one by the time it disappears. Next up we have the Rambi the Rhino, and this is 106 pieces at 10 cents price per piece, $11 purchase price. You're probably going to be able to pick this up for a lot cheaper than 11, and that could give it space to grow in price. However, in my opinion, it's a little bit boring. It has 4 colors and it just lacks anything. So this is not one that I'll be investing in. August 2023, a year on the shelves. But again, sometimes those $7, $8 pickups on a $10 set, they can do very, very well. Dixie Kong's Jungle Jam. So this is 71421, 202 pieces, 13 cents price per piece, and a $27 purchase price. You got Dixie Kong. So it is a character that people are going to want to collect if they are collecting the Mario theme. August 2023, so just 1 year on the shelves as well. This is a little bit more unique. You can see more going on here, a little bit more fun, and it is a cheap set that people will want to pick up. I do anticipate demand sustaining on this set in retirement, but what price will it get to? Will it get up to that $45, $50 purchase price? I think that it is definitely possible, but it will take some time. There will be probably a lot of lowballers on this set right away when you first pick it up, and I'll be looking for a good price before I considered investing. And then in addition to Dixie Kong, we also have Diddy Kong, and this is the Minecart Ride expansion set, 71425. 1,157 pieces and 10 cents price per piece. This is a $110 purchase price, and this is a set that I think looks like it's worth the price, right? It's got a lot of parts in the box, over 1,100 parts for $110, and it's a large set with a lot going on, a lot of detail, and it looks just like a ton of fun. There's a ton of playability here. You get the Diddy Kong buildable, and you get this cart and this rail system, and I think there's just a ton of fun going on here, and it screams Donkey Kong to me. I am a fan of this set, and it is one of my favorite Mario sets that is retiring in July of 2024. It was on the shelves since August 2023, so just under a year on the shelves for this one as well. Once again, I'm not paying full MSRP for this or for any of these sets, but this is one that I am a little bit more excited about than some of the others. Now we have some Disney to close us out here. This is the last theme we're looking at, and this is Peter Pan and Wendy's Storybook Adventure 43220. Now the Storybook sets in the past have been pretty good investments. We've had a handful of the Storybook Adventure sets in the past. We had Ariel, Belle, Cinderella, and Tiana, and that's still doing well as an investment. We had Anna and Elsa's Storybook Adventure, which is over double the original MSRP. $20 is just a great price for these sets, and there's a lot of playability that comes in the box. Now, Peter Pan and Wendy, in my opinion, when compared to some of those other sets, this one is going to have a little bit less demand, because Peter Pan realistically is a story that is very beloved by some of the older generation, but kids today, when comparing Peter Pan to Cinderella or Belle or The Little Mermaid or Frozen, does it really stack up? And is Peter Pan and Wendy's storybook going to have nearly as much demand as some of those others? I don't think so. And when you look at the sales so far on Amazon for this set, you are going to notice that the sales rank is quite higher than some of the other storybooks were. So there is less demand for this set for sure. Does this mean that it's not going to be a good investment? Not necessarily, because again, we have to consider the supply as well. I think some investors may not buy this set as easily as the other one we're going to look at next. However, because the Storybook Adventure sets have done well in the past as investments, it is possible that LEGO investors will be loading up on this set. So supply could be high and demand could be low, which is not good for investing. So I'm not going to be buying the Peter Pan and Wendy storybook, but again, depending on your purchase price, you could do well with it. And I have seen heavy discounts on it. So if you can get this for 12, then you're talking about a great price on a set that belongs to a sub-theme that has typically done quite well as an investment. So there's 111 pieces in this set, 18 cents price per piece, and a $20 purchase price. I do like those prices. That $20 purchase price, especially when you're getting them for 20, 30, even 40% off. Like I said, $12. And this was available for 12 on Amazon recently. So that's a 40% off purchase price from a $20 MSRP. March 2023 release, so just over a year on the shelves by the time this one disappears. But again, I am just going to be cautious of the demand on Peter Pan and make sure that that is there. And then the last one here is Little Mermaid Storybook. This one is a kind of a re-release or a new version. We have had the Ariel Storybook Adventure in the past, and I did very well with that as an investment. This is based on the retelling or the new Little Mermaid movie that came out last year. So you have the new mini doll for Ariel and the other characters, and this one is flying off the shelves right now. There's a lot of demand for this set, and again, it slots in so nicely with the theme. I don't see this as a re-release as much because this movie was a different version of The Little Mermaid, and so I could see a reason for collectors and for Little Mermaid fans to actually get both of these. And do I think it's going to happen again, that they're going to re-release this set and have another Ariel or Little Mermaid storybook 2 years from now? I don't think that it's this likely. I think the only reason that they did it is because the new movie came out. So this is 43213, 134 pieces, 15 cents price per piece at $20 purchase price. Once again, just over a year on the shelves. So this is one that I prefer over the Peter Pan set. I think that if I could get this at a great price, then it could be a pretty good investment. So there are a handful of sets on this list of July retirements that I think could be pretty good investments. I will likely be picking up 2 or 3 of these sets as investments. I will be digging a little bit deeper on them and watching them over the next couple of months, watching what happens with the prices, trying to get great deals, and then starting to build up my inventory over the next couple of months. And if you want to learn more about how I operate my Lego investing business and what are the most important things that I think you need to know to operate a Lego investing business, I've created an entirely free PDF downloadable guide. So in the description down below, you can actually grab an entirely free downloadable ebook to help you with your Lego investing journey. And in that ebook, I talk about all of the major steps of building a Lego investing business and some of the big tips that I think you need to know. So you can actually download that completely for free in the description down below. And if you found this video helpful while you're down there, please also hit that like button. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I'm Shane from brickbucks.net, and make sure this is your year to lift off and be free.